memories
He
back
better
in
he
season
be he
2 or
better be
else.
able to go onto a jet ski. That's all I'm you know.
Dude. That's hilarious. I like this one. Mobius better get his memories back in season 2 or else.
Right? Oh,
Mobius
man.
is still
Doctor
alive.
Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Spider-Man No Way Home, Ant-Man. Yeah, they're just talking about God. This right here was the most terrifying.
You can see all the little itty bitty stuff, you know.
Yeah, you can see every
good?
little one.
Yeah.
Because here's the main timeline: a branch of that, branches of that.
Yep.
Okay.
There's a
And you have
lot.
little branches of those.
The comics will come to life.
Itty bitty little branches and just fucking everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
We're all villains here. Yeah, that was a fucking epic quote.
Getting called real
Who's
quick.
calling you?
Alex right now, but I'm in the middle of the live stream. I can't call right now. I don't know if these guys can hear you right now because my desktop audio is not being tracked right now.
Yeah, when I heard Marvel, did you guys watch the intro?
No, here it is.
Yeah,
It
we
was
did.
all like the Marvel quotes
Dude,
and everything. I'm like, I was
that
crying.
freaked me out.
Trevor heard the Cap and Peggy dancing music.
Yeah.
And
It fucking, yeah.
Man, that was crazy.
on God, Sylvie bad as fuck is
this-
what Neon said. Yeah, that
This-
like
Yeah, that's horrifying. Just
Yeah, I will in a second, Alex. Just give me a moment.
least favorite part. Yeah, least favorite part of the show right here.
What was
The-
that?
This right here. What are
do
you talking about? Who are you? What is your name?
I don't think they can hear.
So freaky. No, they can.
It's just fucking nuts.
Do hashtag Loki.
Oh yeah, I better do that. I shouldn't.
Finale just literally opened the multiverse. This is happening, and you give me a river. Look at this.
Huh?
They said the finale literally just opened the multiverse. This is happening, and you can cry me a river.
Oh my god. Miss Minutes in the beginning
Yeah.
being all creepy and everything. Like,
Dude, yeah, she's
She sounds
we'll
very
see about that.
like she sounds like she's blonde.
Yeah. No one can talk about this Miss Minutes jump scare. Yeah.
You have to reshare your screen again if you wanted to show anything.
Oh.
I didn't know if you did or not, but
Oh no, you're good. I'm just kind of scrolling through Twitter right now with you guys.
Is that Alex? There's Alex.
yeah.
Hi there. We got a full Loki season finale review going on right here.
Dude, look
That
at
shit was
look at
nuts.
Look at this tweet right here. This is all I wanted, and then it broke my heart. What the fuck?
Okay, so I think we should talk about it real quick. We might not have a lot of people in, but that's fine. People are like just probably now getting done with the whole
Watching it,
episode and everything like that. But
I
this-
know Neon and Uni wanted in on this to some extent.
Yeah,
but-
I can't have like we're not gonna do this for long. It's just gonna be like for a few minutes or whatever. And having 6 or 7
Fair
people
enough.
in here is gonna be a lot. But for right now, just talking about like the episode itself, like.
Yep.
At the get-go, you see the Marvel Studios title, but you hear the Cap and Peggy music and lines from the MCU, and then it starts to divert off the sacred timeline to this place.
Right.
What was your initial thoughts there? Like, I thought maybe that's what they were going for, but I kind of freaked out in the beginning, being like, that's the Cap and Peggy music, because that's the first thing I heard. So, what'd you guys think?
Well, I mean, when I first heard, I was just hearing like sounds, and I'm like, wait, this doesn't sound like the actual intro, because the actual intro was always just like this freaking like not sci-fi. What's the word? Like CD punk type thing, like all this. Oh god.
Nobody
The
missed
meme.
it.
All right. I hate her so much, bro.
Dude, she was terrifying, bro.
I hear all this shit
Spoilers
happening. I'm like,
without context. Oh no, that's gross.
Oh.
Oh,
I
did not
I
want
hate
to see that.
I hate that. So I'm just hearing all these sounds, and I'm like,
Curse
holy
right
shit,
there.
what is happening? And then it's like he's a friend from work, and I'm just like, oh, this is like big shit. And then I saw Jonathan. I can't remember his last name.
Jonathan Majors.
Yeah, I saw him, and I'm like, it's Kang, and like Neon and Uni were like, who? I'm like, Kang the Conqueror.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I'm far from okay. I saw like a lot of theories that were like, oh yeah, Kang probably going to be in on the series pretty soon because Ravonna was involved with Kang either romantically or nemesis led.
Yeah, there's another Mobius forgetting Loki one.
So there's a theory that all of us in the call were talking about. What if like he didn't forget him? They just entered the wrong version of the TVA.
Okay, so that's the thing. That's
what it is.
So
It's
a lot. I
he
can
entered
see.
the
I can see a lot
multiverse
of people
He
already
entered a
sitting
different
here.
timeline.
There's gonna be a lot of people here that's gonna sit here and try to theorize this, which I know it's gonna be wrong right away because that's the whole idea of branch timelines. That you can jump from timeline to timeline. When they use their TemPads, they're hopping within the same sacred timeline using that TemPad. But now that TemPad can't really like lock onto a single timeline. There's all these many timelines.
But
so
Kangs
when
did.
no, Kang's is like a regular TemPad. As far as we know, it still is. So when like you open up a TemPad and type in a random location, a random destination, you are then going to wherever that is. But since there's a bunch of separate timelines, it can't lock onto one. So they went to another timeline where Mobius never met that version of Loki, and that's what's happening there. That's not the same Mobius.
That's a different.
I
Mobius.
don't think it's like every. I think Kang's TemPad is different in that if you wanted to, he could access different versions of timelines. But it was Sylvie who pressed the button.
How would
sent him away.
Sylvie know that?
Yeah, Sylvie wouldn't have known that. She probably just pressed something randomly, opened
Because
a portal,
she was
and
hiding
shoved
behind
Loki.
her back. She was hiding behind her
Shoved
back.
him through.
So, but I can see a lot of people theorizing this. It's like Back to the Future timeline. So, like, because you killed this person who takes care of the timeline, something must have happened in the past to make everything change now, and now they don't remember because the past is different. That's not true. It's a different timeline where Mobius never met Loki. That's what's happening, not you changed the past and now they don't remember you. No, this isn't the Mobius we know. That ain't the Hunter B-15 we know. That's a different...
I thought she was B-25.
Or B-25. I think it's B-15, but I'm not 100% for sure. But we
That
did
bitch with
confirm...
the afro who's
we
built
did,
like a Fiji
we did
water
for
bottle.
sure get Kang because Kang was only rumored, to be in it. Jonathan Major says he has no idea what people are talking about when they try to rumor him. And he goes, I'm not in Loki. What are you talking about? But he turned out to be in Loki.
Dude, I love the way he was acting in that. He
Dude,
just had such a shitty
they
grin.
were just saying literally Jonathan Major's acting was phenomenal. I just literally scrolled across this tweet as you guys were talking about it.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I cannot wait for him to pop up in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumanium because he is going to be in that. But they also confirmed him as two different characters. He Who Remains is an actual character from the comic books. That's his name, He Who Remains. He is the guy at the end of the time stream. Kang the Conqueror isn't at the end of time. Kang the Conqueror is a time-traveling villain who uses technology from different timelines to fight mainly the Avengers. So they combine the two characters together. More spoilers without context.
I don't even know who you are.
I don't even know who you are.
$10 super is always watching, bro.
$10 super chat from Dante. This sets up for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness pretty well.
It really does.
Okay, that's the thing. At the very end, the end credit scene, it reveals that there is a Loki season 2, and Loki will return on that. I wonder, will this Loki season 2 happen before?
Was there an end credit scene? I didn't see one when I was on the bar.
It was very, very, very short.
It was just a piece of paper, and someone stamped on it, and the stamp reads Loki will return in season 2.
Yeah, it was Loki's case file from like
Loki
TVA,
Robinson.
and it's the stamp that they put on it was the confirmed season 2. Like he'll be returning in season 2.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm stupid because I didn't see that one.
So I did the same thing.
So hold on.
I scrolled through the timeline and I didn't see.
So the question is, will Loki return in season 2 before Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness will come out, or after? Because this May is when Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness comes out. I think it's this May,
No,
right? Someone,
I think next
Blake,
year.
can you look that up?
I think it's next year's May.
Yeah.
2022, not 2021.
Here, I'll
I
screen
think
share
it's
real quick.
2021.
I thought it was supposed to come out in October-ish.
I don't think so.
The,
I could
the
be
second
wrong.
season is May 2022.
Of Loki,
What is it?
Doctor
Is it
Strange,
Loki?
and the Multiverse of Madness. Release date.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, we don't know when the season 2 is gonna be. There's been no
Yeah,
word on that.
No word on when.
It's
season
March 2022. Okay, someone just confirmed March 2022. That
two.
might
Yeah,
be right.
March 2022. Yep.
Yeah, March 25th, 2022.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
that is
okay.
a long that
Almost a whole year, almost.
well, yeah, you know we're in 2021
Yeah.
right now. So like it's coming up.
Nine-
It's coming up.
Nigh whole
You
year.
know, yeah, in the
9
next
months, yeah.
9 months. Will we get a season 2 beforehand?
9 months away. That's
I
fucking
doubt it. They'd have to
crazy.
start filming now and production now.
Yeah, they
which-
would.
They
They would
said
have.
they'd be They said they're starting filming in 2022.
for
Okay,
Loki season
so
If you look
it,
up-
so it
If
will
you
be
look up
after
Loki season 2.
That means it'll be after Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness, and that means that Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness, we don't even need a villain setup.
We don't.
The universe is already in this disarray.
Mhm.
But in order for us to have a season 2, are we just going to see what Loki's doing during the multiversal
Hey
war?
Trevor, I'll be honest with you. I think this is the point in the Marvel Cinematic Universe where I stop understanding what's going on.
And just watch. Stop understanding.
Oh
just
boy!
watch and
Someone
enjoy.
put in my live chat Loki versus Own Record. What
Oh,
the fuck?
Jesus.
I bet that's on a
Stop it.
timeline somewhere. I bet that's on a timeline somewhere. You know, since now the timeline is all crazy. There's so many different there's a branch timeline where my little brother fights Keemstar. I guaranteed there's one. Now, I think now they will revert. They will now. Did you just Blake? You showing
What?
the video you're making?
Oh,
Yeah, you're streaming the
I just
stream.
noticed that. I got Inception now.
It's Inception. But no, someone brought up a good point. Spider-Man, like the new Spider-Man movie's coming out this December.
And we still haven't gotten a
We're
trailer.
less than 6 months away, and we haven't gotten a trailer yet. Usually we would have a trailer by now. Having said that, now I think they will release the trailer because it will make so much more sense now. We'll have the villains hopping from a different universe to a different universe, and it will all make sense now. So for the next few movies, I'm saying like Eternals, for Shang-Chi, for Spider-Man, for Doctor Strange, for Thor: Love and Thunder, all of these movies, if they take place in the present MCU, that means all of them will be multiversal movies. They will all talk about the multiverse in some way. Isn't that crazy? That, like, now we're under those conditions. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe, like, Thor: Love and Thunder will take place before these events of Loki happen. Maybe that's the case. But there is a chance that all these movies will now have branch timelines and
I
crazy
love
stuff.
I that meme, Blake, or just like Kang just watching, just oh, his
yeah.
face during that whole thing. Oh my god. Nian was just like, oh, I hate him so much, but I also love him. I'm just like, he's just you, bro. He's like, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
On top,
I will not get over this. This
The timelines,
this
yeah.
fucking branching shit is just horrifying.
And this means we can
Because
get
this
anything
is-
from the comics now, like because
I mean, because
Secret
that's what
Wars,
you've seen
you
before.
know.
yeah.
Just that beam alone.
Will they be?
I f-
I don't know if they will be
See,
affected.
because that's what it was before.
Yeah,
Just the
and
one
now it
single
branched
beam,
out into that
and then it
universe of
started
where we're in.
branching, and then whoosh. Like that's just.
that's gonna be a crazy looking tree when someone
So-
finally goes back to the Citadel.
This is another point to bring up for the entire episode. We never saw Mobius on a jet ski, which was a big
My
goal.
13th reason why.
No jet ski.
We saw no Mobius on a jet ski. How likely did you think that was going to happen in this episode? I thought, like, 100% we're going to see Mobius on a jet ski in this episode. It has to be in this episode. But we never got it. So, you didn't really care, Alex?
Well, okay, don't get me wrong. I love Owen Wilson. I love Mobius. The
And
twice
I didn't even get to hear him
found
say, "Oh wow."
Hey,
He said now, which was damn near
Wow.
close enough. But like twice in the whole watching of it, Neon was like, "Alex, why does Owen Wilson sound like you?" I was like, "Huh? What?"
Someone
No,
commented
but
about Smitty
Hey,
Bang.
Joe, will you shut up?
I didn't think, in all honesty, that I just didn't see it happening in the span of the episode. Like there wasn't gonna be a jump cut to Mobius surfing around on a jet ski in like Florida.
Yeah, someone just asked the question, is that Kang the Conqueror? It is Kang the Conqueror, but they also fused him with the
Yes.
character He Who Remains, which is a character that usually sits at the very end of time, and
Sylvie fucked up worse than Star-Lord did in Infinity War.
Yeah, a little bit. But like and another question is with all the timelines, wouldn't Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse be canon?
I think yes, because what Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse does,
Shook.
that's a Sony picture, but still, it hops between the different Spider-Verses, getting all the different Spider-Man, and then the new Spider-Verse coming out, we've already got like confirmations of what Spider-Man we're going to be getting, or Spider-Woman.
We are getting Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield back as Spider-Man. We are
yes,
definitely.
It's definitely going to happen.
You don't take the two biggest villains of what previously, like, of the previous Spider-Man
Franchises,
movies,
yeah.
and some of the best Spider-Man movies or more popular, well-known Spider-Man movies from before, and put them in the new Spider-Man movie and not bring back the original Spider-Man.
Plus,
you
with
don't
the
do that.
T-shirts that the crew got for working on Spider-Man,
You have the stunt doubles of Andrew Garfield working on the movie. You have the person who does the Spanish ADR for the movie for Tobey Maguire. He's now working on Spider-Man No Way Home. It's almost 100% confirmed.
Yeah, and plus we got like Alfred Molina, Jamie Foxx, and maybe Green
I
Goblin,
freaking wish,
I don't
man.
know.
Dafoe, maybe.
William Dafoe, maybe.
Maybe.
I don't
Loki
know.
season finale spoilers out of context.
Dan, thank you for coming. Level 2 support means a
Yeah.
lot. Thank you very
Oh
much.
God, no! I've seen that commercial. That's fucked.
But yeah, guys, what do you rate this episode amongst the rest? Is it like one of the best, or what do you think?
Oh, this episode was like way up there. This shit was top tier. But
I
have to say,
I liked the last episode better.
Episode 5?
5 was the
Yeah,
highest
I
for
kind of
me.
agree. I like episode 5 more just because of the sheer.
I like the
factor that we
variety.
got.
Also,
What
Kid
happened?
Loki is my favorite.
And Alligator. I loved Loki getting his hand chopped
I will,
off
yeah,
and
I will say
screaming.
this:
Florida Loki.
Jonathan Majors, his fucking
His acting.
his acting was just
Main character energy.
Well, okay,
it's
this
probably-
is
watch, it's
what
probably Mayors and
I
Majors.
think the best episode is episode 4, where Mobius dies. That one has the most like concrete, streamlined story happening in almost any episode. So I'm definitely gonna say that I prefer episode 4, where Mobius dies. That was the most gut wrenching out of anyone. Their kiss is fine and all, but a lot of people are gonna be weirded out by that. I find it cute. I find it adorable.
Yeah, I mean there's a bunch of memes and shit like that of people kissing mirrors. Yeah.
Yeah.
Loki when he kissed Sylvie.
Neon.
Marvel just started something, so it's gonna be so weird to go look in the mirror in the morning and look at yourself being like, I kind of want to kiss you right now.
Neon has.
I mean, I think that every day.
Neon
so.
said now would be the perfect to do
Gotta
Cosmic
be
Ghost
narcissist.
Rider since the multiverse is fucked. I disagree
Yo,
because like
Ghost Rider, bro.
I know, but Cosmic Ghost Rider is just if you know the comics,
no.
which I assume you do.
I thought you said
He-
comic.
No, Cosmic Ghost Rider. And Cosmic
I've
Ghost
never
Rider
seen Cosmic
is
Ghost
think
Rider.
about here being the max. Cosmic Ghost Rider goes over the max for power levels and stuff like that. So I simply don't think that. Plus, Marvel doesn't own Ghost Rider anymore, do they?
No, they do.
Netflix. I thought Netflix did.
No,
With
Netflix
You guys
doesn't
wanna-
own
you guys want
characters.
to try again?
No,
I got
I
the
thought
whole
they did.
intro right
Even when
here.
they made the Defenders, Marvel still.
Oh, they were
Netflix
just
never
partnering
owned.
with Netflix. Oh,
No,
okay.
no, yeah, that was.
I thought they owned them. My
They
bad.
just did a
You
deal
got it.
with Netflix.
Yeah, but no, like they could,
Do it.
yes, but I doubt
Do
they
it, Blake.
will.
No balls.
What is it?
It's the
This is
whole
the intro again. But
yeah,
again.
I'm not watching that. I'm not gonna get copyright. I can't close out of it for some
There we
reason.
go.
Oh,
no, it's
I'll
still
close
showing.
out of it. I'll close out of it.
Good.
I
good.
can't even hear it. That's crazy.
Having
Go on Twitter if you want to watch it.
Okay, having said that,
Nah.
I think we all should just come up with like a quick theory on like how season 2 is gonna happen, or how are they gonna deal with it going forward. What is the best plan? So we'll go through each one individually. Blake, Alex, and then Austin, and then I will award the best theory after hearing all three real quick as a quick little game. So come up with the most creative. First off, it has to be very creative. It has to be unique, and it has to make sense. If that's not the
What
case,
was the question again? I'm sorry.
the main question is going to be is how will Marvel or the MCU play out to fix this multiversal war? What will happen? How many movies will it take? What movie will definitively end it? Who are going to be the main characters on trying to end this multiversal war, etc., etc. So you might want to think about Marvel, what characters they're introducing soon, what movies are coming out soon, and yada, yada, yada. So is anyone ready, or would you...
I am.
You are? Okay, we'll let Austin go
Anytime.
first.
So I think that in order to fix how the MCU will do it, you need 2 key characters that we already have that deal with the multiverse and are very, very powerful. One being Doctor Strange, 2 being Wanda Maximoff, Scarlet Witch, the Scarlet Witch. They both are super powerful, and they both can go into astro forms. We've seen that from the end credit scenes of WandaVision and Doctor Strange movie, obviously. I do think that them 2 will be the key to fixing the timeline based off their sheer power alone, but I think they'll do it with the help of the Avengers and other heroes that they know from their timeline.
So what movie do you think it's going to be where they
I
fix
think it will be another Avengers movie, Secret Wars.
So like
maybe.
Avengers 5.
Yeah, Avengers 5 is what will end the Secret Wars, but I think it will build gradually through the movies and then get crushed by the
And
Avengers.
you think WandaVision and Doctor Strange will be the 2 key characters on fixing
Wanda
it?
and Doctor Strange will be the 2 key characters, yes, because Doctor Strange, he has a whole movie about the Multiverse of Madness, and Wanda, she's basically...
And she's going to be in the Doctor Strange movie.
Exactly, and she's passes Doctor Strange, in my opinion, on the power level of, like, who is more powerful. I definitely think Scarlet Witch is way more powerful than Doctor Strange in the MCU. But I think that it'll live out happily ever after. They'll probably pull an Infinity War on us. I want a 3-part movie. 3 different movies.
3 different
Guys,
Avengers
I don't,
movies.
I don't
Three
know
different
what
Avengers
I don't know
movies
you,
doing this.
you guys are talking about, saying that Tobey Maguire's like in the official cast.
He's not in the cast because they're hiding it from us.
Yeah. They
It's
haven't revealed it yet.
basically, though,
Yeah,
based
like,
off everything we've gotten.
It's only rumored, but like you have his Spanish dub, person from the Tobey Maguire movies. He's now working on No Way Home, but that guy's never done Tom Holland. He's never done Andrew Garfield. He's only done the Tobey Maguire dubbing over. And you have his old villain, Alfred Molina. He's going to be in the movie. He's playing Doc Ock.
Jamie Foxx as Electro, which is from the Andrew Garfield series. Yeah, Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire.
Yep, he's
yeah.
Doc Ock from Spider-Man
Yep.
too. But he's
I was wondering.
Yep. So is Tobey Maguire coming back? I think they are. They're just hiding it for the trailer, or they're
Or they're hiding it for the movie.
And I think that's why they've waited so long to release the trailer. Okay, so your final theory is that you think it's going to be Avengers 5, some sort of Secret Wars Avengers movie. You're hoping for a 3-part Avengers movie, and you want Doctor Strange
So like
and
Infinity
Wanda.
War and Endgame was
Infinity
2-part.
War and Endgame were a 2-part series.
Okay.
I hope Secret Wars they do a 3-part series, but if they don't, I'm fine with a 1 or a 2-part. If they can fit it all into a 1-part, good luck. But it's just such a big event. You got to solve it all by one solution, and I think that one solution will be Wanda and Doctor Strange. They somehow do a spell or something to get their timeline out of the war. I think the war will still and continue to go on for future shows, future movies, but I think that Wanda and Doctor Strange will use a spell to take their multiverse, or not multiverse, their universe out of the timeline.
That's not
Secret Wars.
that casting doesn't always mean anything. I think at one point during Avengers Endgame, Hugh Jackman popped up in the cast in the Avengers Endgame, so you can't always trust Google to look at the casting. I mean, I don't know if they
because there's under a lot of these ones, like I see Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire are the only ones that I see that don't have an actual
because they're rumored. They're
Yeah,
not.
they're more rumored than anything else. They're not officially in there, but
I
everyone
see, like,
knows
Aunt
that they're
May,
going to be in there. So.
MJ, Spider-Man, these guys don't have like a character underneath them.
Okay, so your theory was pretty good.
Yeah.
I will rate your theory off of believability, off of
But I think
uniqueness and creativity.
That Doctor Strange and Wanda get their main timeline with like Tony Stark being dead. That timeline,
They're
hope
going to restore
spell,
the original MCU timeline.
Yes, and pull it out from the Secret Wars or the multiversal war.
Okay, so
I will be right back after I run to the bathroom.
alrighty. Out of your theory, based off creativity, uniqueness, and credibility, like how, the believability that it will actually happen, I'll rate it a 7 out of 10. It's not bad. The only thing I find an issue with is just relying on Wanda Maximoff and Doctor Strange. I think it will take a lot more than that. But that's a pretty good theory. Blake, do you have a theory on how they're gonna fix any of this? I know you're not as big into Marvel.
Like I told you, I mean, I love the Marvel movies, but I think this is going to be the point at which I stop understanding what's going on.
You still gonna watch it though, right?
Yeah, I'll still watch it. I'm not going to have any fucking idea what's going on.
So,
though.
do you want to take a jab on like at least like what characters do you think will be a big? Do you think like Loki will be a big part of it since?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I think Loki will be. At least, I think possibly, like we might see that Loki that we see at that separate timeline, like that. This I'm going off wide on a limb here, and I just thought of this. That timeline where, what's his face? I feel so bad.
Kang?
No.
Mobius.
Mobius. Sorry. Where Mobius or doesn't know Loki. That might be the same exact timeline of our current MCU universe that we're watching, like just Endgame and shit like that. And so Loki might meet up with them and help, like Doctor Strange and Wanda. You know.
So you think Mobius might have a part to play? Owen Wilson will return for other stuff.
No, like I'm talking like Loki, like being in that timeline where Mobius doesn't know who he is.
Okay.
I think that timeline is the one that lines up with the MCU universe that we know as far as Endgame is concerned and the WandaVision.
Gotcha.
So that might line up there. So that Loki that knows about those branches and can possibly help in a way. If Loki's gonna have a part in it, that's how I see that happening.
Okay. And then do you think this is just going to happen like in an Avengers movie down the line, or do you think it's going to be a lot longer and a lot bigger, you know?
I mean, it'll probably end up being numerous movies.
Because the Infinity Saga was 20-something movies, and that was just about 6 colored rocks. This is now multiple universes.
Yeah, I think, I mean, you know, granted, all the actors are alive at that point. I think it's going to be a lot of shows, a lot of movies up to that point.
It's been going for about, 15,
a decade.
Yeah.
Or 13 years.
Yeah, 13 years. I was going to say 15.
Yeah, because I was going to say that's Iron Man 1.
Yep.
Pretty much.
All right.
It actually no, never mind.
So,
Yeah,
Alex, what is your theory on how do you think this is all going to resolve? What movie will it be? What are going to be the main characters to play a part in it? And how do you think it's going to get resolved?
I've always been a fan of heavy supernatural stuff, but I kind of want to lean more towards like the sci-fi parts of it. So I feel like there should definitely be a Battle World movie. So like Secret War, if not exactly, I'm not so sure how Battle World was.
Yeah.
But I want it to sort of, and it's going to sound corny, but like imagine a battle royale between the different like Avengers from different worlds. You know, you've got like all black Avengers or whatever. It's just these different like what if variants of certain things. And then, well, I mean, I'm looking at No Way Home. What if, I don't know, Spider-Man teamed up for something? Because, you know, you've already got Spider-Verse that exists. Of course, it's outside of the main thing because it's Sony owned. I think the main characters that are going to like try and fix this are definitely going to be my favorite Sherlock Holmes, Benedict Cumberbatch, Doctor Strange, and I think with the help of magic and science, I think either Tony or a different version of Kang would really assist in trying to reverse this issue. So it's like what he said in the season finale, while a version of me, the original, came along and fixed everything. I think that same thing's going to happen. However, in order to not so much purge timelines, but I feel like Strange and Tony and Kang can create walls between. So communication is free, but you cannot travel to that time. You cannot travel to that timeline. So you can trade knowledge, you can trade history, you can do all this. but no one is allowed to set foot between timelines.
So your
And I don't
theory,
think it'll be.
your theory on how they're gonna fix it is that they're gonna grab some of like the greatest minds. So that could be like Reed Richards on Fantastic Four, Tony Stark. They're gonna return all these
The
people,
Illuminati.
the Illuminati, and you think this Illuminati team is then gonna rebalance the timeline instead of just having one mainstream sacred timeline. They'll have separate different timelines, but create boundaries and walls so they cannot branch into each other and cause a war. That's your theory?
I wholeheartedly believe it is something that they could do, and it would be a fresh, unique idea that I don't think I've ever seen in the comic book.
That, I think you maybe just nailed what Marvel might do, because what are they gonna do? They can't make it back to the sacred timeline because you're killing innocent.
There is no
timelines
sacred
again.
timeline anymore.
Yeah, well, even if they brought it back down, they were like, okay, because like he said, Kang says, if you kill me, I'll end up doing this again. Another variant of myself will do this again, and we'll bring it back down to a sacred timeline again. Marvel can't do that because if they do that, they're killing innocent timelines, and then you don't really feel satisfied from this original Loki series. You know, like you're gonna come back to the same thing it was. Like this was a huge waste of time. But what you're saying makes sense. Like they're gonna have different timelines, but somehow bury them, like create barriers. But if you do that, I think the only flaw you have in that would be Tony Stark and the rest of the Illuminati now have the greatest power in the universe. They control it now.
And that's why I mentioned like Kang, because I feel like that version of Kang could be the one to hold the key to it. And if you only have, and technically speaking, you should have multiple key holders, and that's the ticket. You take trustworthy sort of like individuals from these different timelines. You give them a key in order to unlock the barriers. However, every person of the timeline has to unlock it at the same time. So if you are fully dead set on war happening, you have the nuclear football, but everyone has a different bit of the code.
Right, just like how the Illuminati each held a different time stone at one point during the comics. They didn't all, like, one single person have the power. I like that. So
it's just the Illuminati that helped build the wall.
So we got
but
the
it's Kangs that hold the keys.
So we got the who, the what. When do you think it's gonna happen, and in what set movies do you think it's gonna happen?
Oh, this will be way fucking down the line, probably.
Hold on. Before you get into that, Alex, I got one real quick thing to say.
Okay.
So I might have, if this cast listing is correct, this could possibly confirm my thought that that Loki is now in our current timeline. Obviously, I don't think Tobey Maguire. I agree with you. I think that's just been put on here because he's also in this cast listing for Doctor Strange,
right?
But also as Tom Hiddleston as Loki, and he actually has a character listing. Tobey Maguire doesn't. Sam Raimi doesn't. But
Sam Raimi's
Tom
the
Hiddleston,
director.
What's that?
Sam Raimi is actually the director of Doctor Strange.
Okay, I didn't know that. Well, there we go. But Loki,
because he's really good at horror,
right? But Tom Hiddleston, the people that we know that are going to be in the movie have their character names right, listed under their casting.
Yep.
And so does Tom. But in this current timeline, Loki's dead, dead. He died in Infinity War.
But he used the Space Stone to leave, remember? But that doesn't really matter because it played out in Endgame. In Infinity War, he died. Yeah.
Right. Well, and that's what I'm saying. This could, if this is true, that Tom Hiddleston is back as Loki, it could mean that Loki that we seen meet up with
Mobius.
Thank you.
Mobius strip. It's time based.
With Mobius.
So
Mobius didn't know him.
So you think it's gonna happen way down the line, Alex? What are you thinking in terms of movies? How many phases will this multiverse thing your idea play out for?
Well, okay, so already planned for Phase 4, you've got Doctor Strange 2, Black Panther 2, Ant-Man and the
Thor.
Wasp and Thor
Guardians
and Guardians of the
3.
Galaxy Volume 3.
Shang-Chi as
We've already
well.
got 4 movies that
And
are all
Black Widow.
set, and those usually really well. We already have Black Widow.
Yeah, but that counts as Phase 4.
Yeah, but that's like
I know, I'm counting movies that we don't have yet.
Oh,
Right.
So
Shang-Chi.
that's already 4 movies that need to be released, and those movies are usually like 1 to 2 years apart. I don't think Marvel's ever had a double release
in a
because
year,
they're
in a
always
single year.
they're always meticulous.
This is the one I'm waiting for.
Yeah.
Love and Thunder.
So, where do you think this? How long do you think this can play out for?
I think this will probably play out for. I don't want to say 2 phases because that just people might think that Marvel's just trying to milk it, but it is a really massive thing. I think it'll definitely take more than just like the 7 movies we have right now. This would probably have to span at least 10, maybe 11. And I think the year that this might see its end is probably 2030 or 2031.
So you think
Just for this-
So you think for the
It'll go on
next
another
10
decade.
years, the multiverse
I'm
thing
thinking
will
another
play out?
10 years Marvel.
It could if the Infinity Saga played out for 13. I think.
I
they
mean,
could
Infinity
step
Saga
in-
lasted until about 2019, I would say.
Technically,
So it
so-
was about
well-
11 years. You're saying now it will
Bong,
last.
it's just rumored that Toby's going to be in it. It's not confirmed yet.
Yeah.
I genuinely think it will. I could see Alex's point. You know, this could be the next big lead up to end the multiverse.
Wow.
And yeah, just wow.
Jesus.
So
we just watched a man commit murder. All right. Cool.
that was like Sylvie and Loki. But no,
Yeah, no, I think like 2030, 2031,
I
that
think-
this is all set to.
I think your theory, I'm going to give that a 9 out of 10. That seems like your idea of having the Illuminati fix this is so like just think about it. Just think about it.
I know.
They have the Fantastic Four movie coming out soon. They're gonna introduce Reed Richards. Hopefully, John Krasinski is Reed Richards. Let's go, fan casting for the win. And they're gonna have to set up some sort of other smart minds like Shuri from Black Panther to probably be part of the Illuminati. You got Doctor Strange. They're gonna bring back Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. I mean, it's a kind of a given. You know, they're gonna bring him back at some point is the idea. And then they have
Hear me
Kang
out.
set up. You know.
Hear me out. Dumb idea. Robert Downey Jr. is getting really old. He's like, what, 60 now?
He's in his 50s,
Okay,
I
50s.
believe. Blake's gonna
He's
be the
getting
fact
up
checker
there.
over here.
Yep. Thank you, Blake. What if his daughter
Oh, good lord, I wish.
tried to help out with this?
Oh, Morgan.
And yeah, what if Morgan and
Why does it keep giving me the bang?
Ironheart.
Google.
What if Morgan became Ironheart?
Well, they have an.
I know Ironheart is
Yeah, they have.
specifically the black girl, but
Yeah,
56.
56 years old. Ironheart
My
is
man was
is
born in
going to star
65.
her, not Morgan. But Morgan could play a part in this because I don't think they did so much emphasis on in Endgame about Morgan. You know, not just for Tony. They're definitely going to use that for a story arc down the road.
I think Morgan has just as much smarts as her father,
Right.
and
Or she has the potential.
same rationale as her mom.
Right.
The same potential. I think Morgan will play an integral role in continuing the line of Tony Stark.
Right. So
Wait
yeah,
a minute.
I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10 right there because that's just absolutely insane. Blake, I wouldn't look much into it yet.
Don't.
Don't look too much into that yet.
I
Just-
haven't watched it yet.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Why is it saying he's okay? I'm not gonna look.
I don't want to watch it.
I don't-
Honestly,
Yeah.
just
Okay, so
wanna know.
moving on, there was a big question that people were bringing up in the chat. Spider-Man No Way Home. Do you think they held the trailer for this long because they were waiting for this last episode of Loki to see all the branch timelines going crazy, and that's going to play a part in Spider-Man No Way Home? Under or over? I'm going to give it 40%. Would you go under or over that's the case?
could you repeat the question?
That they held Spider-Man No Way Home, the trailer,
Mm-hmm.
because they wanted everyone to see this last episode of Loki and all the timelines branch. So do you think that will have a part to play in Spider-Man No Way Home. How like the other villains from the other universes, which it was confirmed. These aren't just recastings. These are the old villains returning, and they're playing the same character from those universes. Do you think they waited for this last episode to come out to release the trailer? Under or over 40%?
Over 40%.
Over 40? Blake?
Over 40% sure.
I was spacing out.
Okay, do you think under or over 40% they held the trailer for this long because they wanted people to see what happened at the end of Loki? Because the next movie is...
I mean, probably 100%.
You believe 100%.
Yeah,
I'm going to go over, but I wouldn't go over 50% because I don't know the story of Spider-Man No Way Home. I don't think that this last episode of Loki is going to be like the exact story that's happening there. I don't think we're going to see like Peter Parker deal with branch timelines.
Well, no, I mean,
yeah,
but if it does, like, if that is the story timeline, I can see where you mean, like, keeping it 50-50, like, kind of gives you a little bit of room there to, you know, depending on the story of the next Spider-Man. But I mean,
yeah, maybe the trailer reveals a spoiler for Loki. Maybe that's why they waited. You know, maybe there's something that, like, because Doctor Strange is going to be in Spider-Man No Way Home. Maybe Doctor Strange says something that happens. You know, maybe he says the multiverse of war is happening, but that would completely spoil Loki.
Did you guys see what I have on screen right now?
This happened in the span of a couple days. Yeah, and that's crazy to think about.
That's fucking nuts.
Loki has had the craziest week in anyone's life. Think about that. And another
Loki
thing,
went from getting his shit pushed in by a Jolly Green Giant.
Think about this real quick. If the Avengers in Avengers Endgame never traveled back through time, none of this would have happened. And if you keep thinking about it, if Thanos never did what he did, none of this would have happened. And if you keep thinking about it, if the original Loki from the timeline never sat here and went for Thanos, like, with a knife, if he actually just teamed up with Thanos, none of this would have happened. And if you keep thinking, like, do you see how all these causes and
effects... It's like classic Loki did. He didn't even try to fight Thanos. He just turned into a pile of rubble. Which I think is hilarious.
Which in Infinity War, yeah, if you watch the beginning of that, there's a piece of debris outside the ship that everyone thought was Loki. And that's where they got that. They introduced that fan theory into the actual show, which I thought that was
all
also
I'm saying
cool.
is Kid Loki is the best Loki.
But yeah, I think...
Because his Nexus event was murdering Thor, and that shit's funny.
Yeah, okay, I gotta say, though, like, I think Alex nailed it. I think he nailed exactly what Marvel's gonna do. I think they're gonna separate all the time, because they can't go back down to the sacred timeline again. They can't.
No.
Imagine if they did, how unsatisfying
This means Marvel what-ifs could be canon now. Or, you know, nothing is canon, but everything is true.
Right.
Think about that. You could have 6 different timelines where Tony Stark, like, instead pulled a Thanos and was like, I'm going to remove all the dumb people so I have people to talk to. And then his wife is dead. And you're like, no, what happened? And then that's like 6 movies. You know, but that's just like thinking small potatoes.
Everyone vote right now. Who is the best character in the Loki series? Now that season 1 is over with, and we're definitely getting a season 2 now, which is exciting. I'm happy that they're doing another season.
Trevor, you're gonna say Mobius. Shut up.
You're gonna say Mobius.
Who is the best character in your opinion, and why?
Kid Loki. He murdered Thor, and he has a toaster in his backpack. And a fucking fire sword. That's
so you're saying you're saying Kid Loki. Blake, who are you saying?
I love Kid Loki, bro.
I don't fucking know.
I don't have an opinion.
Uni says alligator Loki.
Florida Loki, your boy Croaky.
President Loki was pretty cool too. I liked that. It was another evil Loki coming back. That was kind of nice and refreshing to see. Even though we've had evil Loki before, but
I was confused. Did President Loki like invade that hole with different versions of Lokis, or are those just people that got pruned and he's like, hey,
or they're
you're
just
gonna work for me now?
Or yeah, maybe they're just pruned soldiers that he took under his belt. I think some of them are Lokis because some of them do have the horns, but that could just be to honor this Loki.
I like the Mad Max Loki who had like fucking
handlebars
on his helmet.
So what'd you guys think of old Loki, classic Loki, Richard E. Grant? Do you think he did a good job? Did you like his acting? What'd you think?
Oh, his acting was phenomenal, dude. I with the part where he's like summoning all of Asgard.
That was crazy.
I creamed a little. I'll be honest. That shit was awesome as fuck. That was great.
Man, that's crazy. Blake, who's your favorite character?
I have no idea.
Okay, this is like a Marvel series that you actually completed, so you have to answer.
I wasn't paying attention, man. I like pretty colors.
Oh, you're paying
What was your favorite color in the episode?
What's your favorite color?
The timeline. No.
The time.
Timeline orange is my favorite color. Tastes great.
I don't know. I'd probably have to say, it's between three. That's why I'm fighting it right now.
Who are
because
the three?
I don't want to say what everybody's gonna say is, oh, Loki was my favorite. So it's either
I think Kang was fucking awesome too.
It's either between Kang or Sylvie.
Kang or Sylvie, okay. I honestly, people already know I've been a big fan of Mobius and Owen Wilson joining the cast, but I think what I liked best about Mobius, which is my favorite character, is his dynamic with Loki. This is the first time Loki's actually had like a best friend dynamic, which everyone expected to be with Thor. Nope. Loki and Mobius get along a lot better than Loki and Thor. Granted, that's because Loki was prisoner for most of the series, but still.
I have an asshole and a bad friend.
Yeah.
Loki looked so hurt when he said that.
Yep.
Oh my god.
You're just kind of an asshole and a bad friend. So, like, again, I think. Do you think?
No, my favorite character was Lady Sif.
Do you think we're going to get all the same characters to return for the next episode? Do you think we're going to get Owen Wilson back and Hunter B-15 and Renslayer, Judge Renslayer?
At this point, I think Owen Wilson has completely made it back into the acting game, what with him being in Loki. And if he didn't come back, I think people would riot. I think people would riot if they didn't bring Mobius back.
Like,
you included, because you want your jet ski scene.
Definitely. Mark Brewer, $2 super chat. Season 2 sets up Battle World for sure. Thoughts? Well, Alex was bringing up Battle World. He thinks that's going to play out, though, not just in Season 2, but throughout more movies, right?
I feel like a Battle World arc is on the way, but I don't think it'll be in Season 2, per se. I definitely think there's going to be different versions of, like, the Avengers fighting or different Spider-Men, because, and hear me out, what with Battle World being introduced, this could be a branching point for every Marvel property to come in. That includes Sony's Venom and Carnage and Fox's Deadpool. And yeah, I know Disney's like, oh, we don't want to bring in Deadpool. Blah, blah, blah. You can totally do that with Battle World. And the best part is, it's its own condensed and concealed little time space. Because whatever happens in Battle World can be considered canon, but in the same token, it doesn't have to be, because they can just wipe the memory and suddenly no one remembers what happened on Battle World. But you, the viewer, know that these timelines lost and this one prevailed. And I think the timeline that will prevail is likely going to be the one with our Loki.
So you think our main MCU timeline we've been having, the sacred timeline, will end up prevailing?
I believe so, because that is the one that, well, is considered sacred. Yeah, call me old-fashioned. Oh.
Doctor Strange fixing the multiverse.
Nice.
So, another question to ask. So, with Season 2 coming, do you think that Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness will fix most of it, or, like, set it in a better path, or do you think Loki Season 2 will handle that? Or do you think Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness will deal with its own story and its own villain? Or do you think that will just be, Loki and maybe all movies will deal with it? Like, what do you think?
I think Loki Season 2 will be like an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. thing where they kind of like they let the bigger problem just sort of up there, and they'll take care of the smaller shit down here, like a roving band of thieves or whatever the fuck, and they'll just be like, yeah, pick you. It's just going to be, I feel like, another sort of ongoing series, but it's got Tom Hiddleston in it. so it's better.
Right.
I think Loki
not to
season
say that
2
Agent of Shield wasn't good.
I think. Oh, you done, Alex, or you still got more?
One more thing. I forgot it. Never mind.
All right, I'll go. I think Loki season 2 will deal with the whole thing, and I think Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness will deal with its own villain. I don't know who that villain is.
I'm more along the line with Austin. I think there will be a villain from the multiverse that Doctor Strange will deal with, but I think Loki season 2 will deal with continuing this multiverse arc into whatever the Avengers movie will be dealing with it, like the next Secret Wars movie. Someone did ask, and they keep asking in the chat, what if Korg is Spider-Man? What if the Japanese Spider-Man is now in the multiverse? The answer is yes. Everything now exists because of this timeline. They're going to do different timelines, and Marvel's going to be like, see, the only reason why the Japanese Spider-Man, the only reason why Spider-Man and the Spider-Verse happened is because of us. Because we started, because Sylvie killed Kang, and it started the branch timelines, and we all started it. That's, I think, what Marvel's pulling.
Everything is true, but nothing is canon.
Right. So, like, I think that they will now say that, like, oh, you know all those horrible X-Men movies? Yup, that was us. We did it because our timeline split into all these branch timelines, and we started that. We did that, but they won't claim that they created it, but they're going to claim that yes,
it's in their universe.
It's in their universe because that timeline created it.
But anything you can imagine, comic books or unbelievable that hasn't happened in the comics or MCU it can happen.
I got another thing, and I'm going to ask everyone. We're going to start with Blake.
Except we gotta get off here in a couple minutes.
Yep, we're gonna start with Blake. Name one thing you think they will do, something crazy. Like, do you know how they did Loki Alligator? They did that. We never thought they would do it, but they did it.
And Frog. Somebody
Frog.
killed, I think.
Yep.
Frog,
they did fourth Frog, as a frog. Throg.
That was funny.
He was in that jar when we were going through the ground and we saw the hammer and everything. So they did all these little crazy things. Name one thing you think the MCU will actually do and put in their actual movies. Or two, name something that is so crazy you don't think they will do, but you wish they will. So something really crazy. It could be something from the comics. It could be something that you can just think of on the top of your head. For example, they made Captain America into a werewolf into the comic books. I hope they do that, and I'm really, really hoping. I don't think they'll do it, but I hope they do that.
Animal Avengers. Oh, you're sure.
Blake goes first.
I don't know enough about the comics to do.
Just name something random, though.
That you want to see.
Tobey Maguire in the next Spider-Man.
It's probably gonna happen. Alex, what are you thinking? I know you're ready to say something.
Make it quick.
So, okay.
Don't go on a 10-minute tangent.
I'm sorry. I've got a lot of ideas.
Yeah, just something real quick.
So you know about Marvel's Amalgam universe and the Infinity Amalgam? Mm-hmm. So, what if, like, I want a live-action version of the Amalgam universe where it's Disney and DC, not Disney, Marvel and DC. And,
so you want to bring DC into this?
That would be dope.
I think that, it's like I said, everything's true, nothing's canon. DC, like Warner Brothers and Marvel, they could interact for this one thing, like they did, like 25 years ago.
Yeah,
how old
in the
is
comics.
Amalgam comic?
Yeah, it's a long time ago.
I feel like they could do it again, and they would get so much like shit for the budget. And I feel I'm 95% certain people would go out and buy that.
Avengers versus Justice League.
No, it's the Amalgam comics.
Right. But in a sense, it's like the Marvel versus DC and all this other stuff. So you're saying it would be cool to see a crossover between another competitor / similar studio in DC and just have them come by for one movie while the multiverse stuff's happening. So MCU, it makes sense. DC, it won't really make sense, but it doesn't matter because nothing makes sense over there.
No one gives shit about DC right now. I also want to see Joker punch Red Skull in the face again.
Right. Yeah, you want to see something really, really crazy. Okay, that's the wildest thing I've heard. Austin, what do you want to see?
That is actually pretty cool, and I have kind of two answers. One would be, instead of the DC universe, the Invincible universe from Amazon Prime, the new series. It's comic books as well that were made a long time ago, but now they're doing a TV show, an animated show.
You want to see the Invincibles and a Marvel crossover?
And Marvel crossover, that'd be so dope. Omni-Man versus fucking Thor, that would be
I want to see
fucking
the
insane.
Incredibles.
The Incredibles.
But the main thing I would like to see is, I believe Alex helped me out here. I believe they're called the Primal Avengers or whatever, but it's where they're all animals. We'll just call them Animal Avengers, I guess. But there's a comic book where all the Avengers are their own animal. Spider-Man is Spider-Ham. Thor is Throg. Captain America is a werewolf, I think. Iron Man is a rat, I think. I'm not sure, but like they're all animals, and that would be so dope to see.
Okay, well, Spider-Ham came from a comic book universe.
Yeah,
actual comic books, like cartoon, like Sunday afternoon cartoons in your local newspaper. Throg was a pet Avenger.
Pet Avengers, that's what they're called. Yeah, I'd love to see that. Where I think one of them's a cat. I think Captain America might be a cat.
Something.
I know one of them, but I would love to see that.
What I would love to see is to see a character like Doctor Strange go meet Benedict Cumberbatch. That's what I want. Like I want it, the superhero and the actor who plays it, for them to meet.
That'd be dope.
That's what I want to see. And I also want to see an introduction of all new characters like Doctor Doom, Fantastic Four, Galactus, Silver Surfer, Adam Warlock. I want to see everything that they throw. Now,
so sorry to interrupt, the members of the Pet Avengers are Lockjaw, Throg, Hairball, Lockheed, Miss Lion, Redwing, and Zabu.
So, having said that, before Blake hops off, we'll bring up one last point about this, okay, and then we'll try to wrap this up real quick. So
I'm down to keep talking.
Yep, this last episode of Loki was pretty crazy. Okay, we saw the timelines break. Blake was saying how crazy and how horrifying it is seeing all the timelines branch, and Loki then going back to this other TVA from a different timeline and running into Mobius and B-15, but they don't remember at all. And then we see the statue of Kang the Conqueror. Having said and seen all this, do you think the general public will understand it like we do, or have a tough time being able to believe that? Because Blake, not being a huge Marvel fanatic like me and Alex are, you were able to understand that. I
didn't think that anybody would think, oh, they just forgot about Loki. I immediately knew that he was in a different timeline.
So do you think the general public watching this, the reception will be good, or do you think people are going to be like, that was not satisfying, it didn't come to a conclusion, it's a cliffhanger for another movie or a second season?
I think it's going to be half and half.
You think it's half and half? Alex, what do you think?
God, I just
because it's a lot. You're always going to have half people that love it and half people that hate it. I mean, the same thing as something little as Loki and Loki kissing. You know, half the people are going to be like, "Oh, that's what I've wanted all season," and then Austin and I are kind of like, "I was a little fucked up."
What if they fuck? Is that just like masturbation?
Let me just bend my genitalia into my bunghole, and they're the same thing.
Bunghole. I need TB.
Do we all think that the next season's going to be another short 6 episodes, or do you think that? Or do you think
they need to make it longer?
I agree. They should have just made this season.
Do you think it's going to be longer, or do you just say they need to make it longer?
I don't think they'll make it longer.
Yeah, I think it'll be 6 episodes for a season.
Squeeze it through another 6 episodes. Horse shit.
Does that mean Larry the Cable Guy is playing Cable in a multiverse?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Maybe.
You know what? Everything is true. Nothing is canon.
Like Tomater without the touch.
Everything is true. Nothing. Not everything is
dumb
canon.
Son of a bitch.
Yep. I mean, it's crazy.
Well, like when my dad asked me all these questions, like, "Who's that?" and I was like, "You watched the thing."
I literally just thought about this, dude. I need an Avengers movie where Larry the Cable Guy comes in, and before they fight, like the final boss, let's get her done.
Oh my god, yes.
Fucking Pixar theory.
So the very next, I think, thing we're getting, we got Black Widow, we got Loki. I think the very next thing we're getting is Shang-Chi, I believe, is our next thing, and then we're also, and then we're also
Spider-Man's not too far away either.
Spider-Man's coming in Christmas, so we got. I'm just talking about the rest of this year.
Oh, it's at the end of this year.
Yep, we're getting that at Christmas time. So we got Shang-Chi, and then we got Spider-Man,
and there's
Eternals,
and What If, I think.
What If, and then we're getting Miss Marvel as well.
Not
So,
this year. Miss Marvel.
I think
no.
Miss Marvel's
No,
coming out.
next year.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Blake might want to double check that.
Miss Marvel.
See what
release
we're
date.
getting for the rest. Like, just type in MCU release dates, and then see what else we're getting. For
I
the rest.
typed in MCU Phase 4.
Yeah, and then see what we're getting in the rest of 2020. That's all I'm looking for. But we got what if
2021.
or 2021. My bad. Type in. I want to just know if I think we're
All right,
getting.
here we go. I got it up.
Yeah. What are we getting for the rest of the year? Because we're gonna
All right,
answer
so we
what are
got-
we most excited
So we
for.
have Black Widow. It's going to be then Shang-Chi, then Eternals, then No Way Home.
And that's it.
And that's it.
And that's it for the end of the year.
I thought what
And then down below we have what if
2021.
To be wait a
and
minute.
Hawkeye and Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
To be announced.
Series,
announced.
series,
Fantastic
series.
Four.
Below that, Blake.
Below.
Oh,
right there, yeah.
Okay.
Hawkeye and Miss Marvel are the last two things.
Okay, and what if?
And what if, yeah.
Okay, so we got
3, 4, 5. 5 things.
Five
Shang-Chi,
things.
Eternals, plus those
and then Spider-Man No Way Home. So
Yeah.
No,
6 things.
so yep, and then nope,
6.
six,
Yeah.
6 things.
Yep.
Nope.
Okay,
What
so
is
three
what is
shows and
Marvel
3
What If
movies.
going to be about?
what if it's just an animated series of like different what
New
if
trailer
scenarios,
dropped
like
for that, by the way.
if Peggy Carter became Captain America, or
Or
if in
Marvel Zombies was real.
if
you
Black
know,
Panther
So
became
essentially
Star-Lord.
playing with this idea of the multiverse.
of the
now.
multiverse, yeah.
Right.
What
Dude,
if?
Marvel Zombies was actually fucking awesome.
It was, and I hope they do a live action version of it at some point.
Well, it's
because
in the
it
what
would be
if
crazy.
already. We've already got zombie
but
fight
we,
Iron
well,
Man and
I think
Cap.
we need a live action. Having said this, though, we have 6 more. We have What If, Miss Marvel,
I
and
mean, they're
Hawkeye
all
as.
old. They might as well be zombies.
All right, so we have What If,
Untitled
Miss
Wakanda
Marvel.
series.
We have What If, Miss Marvel, and Hawkeye as Disney Plus series, and then we have Shang-Chi, Eternals, and Spider-Man No Way Home. What are you most excited for to see next?
Spider-Man, easily.
We were gonna go in order, but go ahead. Austin goes first.
Spider-Man for most excited for. Then I would have to say Shang-Chi, and then Eternals, and then it would go to the Disney Plus shows. What If 4th, Hawkeye 5th, and Miss Marvel last.
You're not really excited for Miss Marvel.
I still am, but
But that's
just
your
not.
least.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
my least. So bottom to top, it's Miss Marvel, Hawkeye, What If, Eternals, Shang-Chi, Spider-Man.
All right, so Blake, you're not very familiar with all these properties, but what are you most excited for and maybe least excited?
I'll be
for?
honest with you. I was super interested in because Shang-Chi. I looked into like obviously the trailers and stuff that come out for it. Or the videos that we see that you and I were watching.
Yeah.
Of it.
Mhm.
And I really liked the style of it. Like the fighting style was more
Has like a real Jackie Chan feel to it.
right. And so I love those type of movies. And so that one I would say storyline aside, that one I think will be a really cool action movie. Just aside from the whole story itself. As far as familiarity, obviously Spider-Man. But other than that, I mean, I don't, those two are at top. The rest of them I'm kind of excited for just because I don't know a lot about them. And it was the same thing going into Justice League, Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
I didn't know a whole lot about it, so it was kind of exciting. I knew of them, I just didn't know about them, and went into it uninformed, come out of it super informed, and I enjoy doing that with movies. So I'm, every Marvel movie that I watched, right when Endgame come out, I watched all 20 some odd movies in order, chronologically, not how they
Came
were
out.
released,
But chronologically.
timeline, based on their date,
Yep.
set in the movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think Captain Marvel was first, and then
Captain
first
America, and
Avenger,
then
and that
Captain
sort of
Marvel,
yeah, yep. So that's the order that I watched them in, but I watched all of them, but I knew what to expect because it's I'm familiar with these people and I've seen some of these movies all the way through. So it's going to be another one of those things where especially Eternals and Miss Marvel and What If, things that I have, and Shang-Chi especially, that I have no idea about, and it'll be one of those things where I go into it uninformed and learn about it and kind of go on that unknowing roller coaster.
Yep.
You can't see what's ahead of you.
Alex, what are you most excited for and least excited for?
So of all the things that are on this screen right now,
Yeah,
This
happening
year.
in 2021.
happening in 2021.
Yeah, that we have not seen.
Okay. So Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, top tier. You already know that.
Yes.
Shang-Chi's number 2 because I love martial arts. I love movies with Jackie Chan and them and shit. It's just great. Spider-Man No Way Home.
But what did you say was the first one?
Doctor
Miss
Strange,
Marvel?
but that's happening
Doctor
next year.
Strange.
I was gonna say that was in March 2022. But
Oh, 2020. Oopsie.
yeah, you're good.
Just 2021.
So
Mm.
Shang-Chi
So in
is
that order,
number
then it would
one.
be Shang-Chi and then Spider-Man for you.
Yep.
Then, you said.
Then Eternals.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, what ifs are actually going to be put up at the that's still in
Number one.
2021, right?
Yep.
Yeah, all these three
Yeah.
are in 2021.
Okay. What if Hawkeye, Shang-Chi, Spider-Man, Eternals, Miss Marvel.
So Miss
And,
Marvel's released.
I'm not a fan of Miss Marvel.
Me neither.
Like
but I'm still
as
excited
an actual
to see it in the live action.
Well, there's I mean there's the excitation of actually wanting to watch it, seeing how they would do it. But I watched Superhero Squad growing up. You know, that old animated.
Yep.
I didn't like her.
Me neither.
I was not a fan of her. She was a bitch. Not a fan. But you know, I'm excited. I mean, of course, I'm going to be excited to watch it because, like, how could you not be?
Right. And then next I'm going to say my list real quick. My list for this will be Spider-Man No Way Home.
Superhero Squad is canon.
I think Spider-Man No Way Home having, the possibility of other Spider-Man is just top tier. Spider-Man, I had a fan of when I was a little kid. I think everyone loved Spider-Man when they were a little kid. And for me personally, Spider-Man No Way Home is going to be at the top. Second, I'm going to go Miss Marvel. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Miss Marvel is fantastic. I know you guys probably don't read comics and stuff like that, but Miss Marvel is so fantastic.
She's a bitch.
Yeah, she might be a bitch, but she is a welcomed bitch into
I
the
loved
MCU.
her in the Marvel's Avengers game, by the way.
Yeah,
she was awesome.
she's awesome no matter where she's depicted at. She's really cool. Next, I'm going to go Doctor Strange Multiverse Madness. I want to see my Wanda Maximoff again. Elizabeth Olsen, let's go. And then I want to go Shang-Chi. And then I'm going to go Hawkeye, then What If. What If I'm just
Where'd you
really...
put Eternals?
Eternals would probably go, right near Hawkeye and stuff like that. They're kind of whatever.
I'm almost out of water. That's how much this conversation is.
And then, What If would be last.
Right.
I'm just not super, super excited. So, having said this, I want another question before we
I know,
go.
Alex.
You're not excited for the Burger Avengers, bro. What the fuck?
All right, last question, Trevor, and I'm gonna hop off.
Yep, and Blake will hop off,
I'm
and
gonna
then we'll
head
talk
out right
Alex.
now.
All right, see you later. So having said this, what would you feel about doing a 24-hour live stream just talking about all the possibilities
I
that
would
Marvel
love
can
that.
cross over? Like, who would be willing to do it here?
I would lose my mind.
Austin would do it. Alex would do it. Blake would not do
It has
it.
to be a day where I'm off, but like, yeah.
So I think doing a 24-hour live stream of just speaking about all the possibilities would be very interesting, and it would get like so many different people like from across one time to another to be able
Across
to
the
hop in.
YouTubosphere.
Yeah, the
All the
YouTubeosphere.
Europeans would be
Across
up
the
thinking,
YouTube
"Oh, what's this
sacred timeline."
motherfucker?" Shut that shit up, man.
Right. But I think that would be
There's
a very
nothing sacred
something
about
very
this timeline.
interesting to try about at some point. I'm thinking maybe sometime this week. I don't mind pulling that stunt to try that out. Maybe like this Friday night or something like that, and just go all the way until Saturday night and go. You know what? Let's try this crazy idea and go for it.
I got D&D, but I'm down. I'll probably be joining you at the very tail end of Friday and
Right.
into Saturday.
I mean, it's going to be a very lonely time in this chair, and I'll just bring on any Marvel fans in the chat that would want to be able to come hop in and talk about it.
Make a stage VC for it.
Yep. Make a stage VC
Okay,
for it.
before you guys keep talking, I'm gonna hop off.
All right. Yep, I'll
All
see
right.
you later, Blake.
Bye, Blake.
We'll see you guys. See you, chat. I should have been to bed 4 hours ago.
Loki was worth it.
It was. All right. See you guys.
All right, so Alex, now that it's just you and me, real quick, is there anything
Alright.
like super giddy that you got like you're a huge fan of at the moment? Like, why did Kang even have statues of himself inside this palace? How did he create this palace? Do you have any theories about any of that?
He's Kang the Conqueror. He needs little explanation. He who remains. He is the immortal. He is all of these different variations of one man who is just he's smart, and that's the scary part about him. There's just like, how do I put it? You can't pinpoint what Kang is gonna do, because I don't even think Kang knows what he's gonna do. So he's either he does know what he's doing or he doesn't. It's like at the very end when he's in the Citadel, he's like, I know what's going to happen. I wrote the book. I paved the path. and you walked on it.
Right.
So
And then there was that point where he goes, I don't know what's going to happen next. And he dropped something real quick. I don't know what he was referring to when he was dropping that. Was he like trying to see if...
well, you know, when time stops, what happens with it? Does gravity stop?
Maybe he was
universal
doing something like
constants-
that. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think he is everything he claims to be. I bet there's some lies
What
mixed
will you
into that.
find at the end of time is the main issue
That's
when
the
you're looking
thing.
at that.
Do you side with Loki in this? Like, do you think that he might be telling the truth, or do you side with Sylvie in this? Do you think that he's lying, or do you think it's somewhere in the middle? I'm a guy in the middle. I think he's lying. He has to be lying about something. He's Kang the... He will say, like, Marvel tried to do that. I noticed that. They were like, there's other versions of myself that are more evil. They tried to throw us for a loop, being like, hey, maybe this is a good version of Kang. Nah. I saw what they were doing there. They were trying to do that.
There's no such thing as a good Kang. The only good Kang is a dead Kang.
Exactly. I don't think this Kang the Conqueror, guy at the very end of time, he has to only be good. He tried to explain it like that, but I bet there was lies mixed into it. I mean, they had that phony fucking video of like the timekeepers in the beginning of the episode that the timekeepers
It's
created
doing evil to do good, which is always just a recipe for the disaster. You can't do evil to do good. And, a lot of people are probably going to be disagreeing, and I don't care. There's no such thing as being evil to be for, like, a good cause. It doesn't make any sense. Why would you be evil for a good cause when you can just make the good cause happen?
Another question. Do you know how Kang the Conqueror has taken, like, many different forms, like Nathaniel Richards and Iron Lad and all this other stuff in the comics?
I love Iron Lad.
Do you like that they just did the simple Kang for this episode?
Well, I mean, according to you, it wasn't even really just Kang. It was a guy who
it's
is
kind
like
of an
Kang.
It's kind of like amalgamation between Kang the Conqueror. It is still Kang the Conqueror, but they mixed him also with the He Who Remains, which is like a guy at the end of time to try to keep the time stream and all the timelines flowing and all this.
For a second, I thought we were about to meet the One Above All or fucking
Living Tribunal or something,
or Stretch of the fucking Limits, Stan Lee, some kind of like holographic CGI, whatever the fuck. Like, oh hey, Stan, can you like hold still for like 15 minutes and say these lines? We're gonna use you later in like a movie that's not a movie, like a series that's 6 years down the line. And he's just like, okay,
so
true believers.
We can't really discuss like, is there this or this, is there that, because the answer is going to be yes. There's going to be every possibility that it exists. But is this Kang that we saw, is he a liar or is he not? Or is he both? Where do you stand?
He is a convenient, he's a convenience finder. He will tell you what you want to hear as long as it is convenient to him. Because
he didn't really care about
Kang the Conqueror.
But he didn't really care about dying. He was pretty adamant that he's going to be coming back. So like, did he tell like what he like? Was he like really like getting tired of his job at the end of Loki?
I think my question is why didn't Loki just say, let's not take it over, just make him put the thing back on and do his job again? I thought that would have been like, personally, I think that would have been really funny if they were just like, that's a fair point. Put this back on and keep doing your job. But in the same token, they would just be giving up. And, what were they doing all this progress for to begin with, if not to stop him?
I mean, I think they unless they have like some other plan, which Marvel will always have a plan. They sort of written themselves into the corner. They had to have Kang die. They had to kill him. But that's not going to be the end of Kang. Kang's going to come back, and there's going to be different versions of him.
There's another Kang. There's always a bigger fish.
Right. And obviously we have Jonathan Majors coming back in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. But I'm just so confused by, like, I don't know if we'll ever get these questions answered. Like, is that Kang lying or
when
not?
has Marvel ever wanted to answer your question?
They don't.
Has Marvel ever
they want to cause more questions and more money.
They don't. Yeah, no, they just sit here and they're like, good question. watch these next 5 movies to find out.
Yeah.
And you're like, son of a bitch.
And then those 5
Can't
movies
you
cause more questions than we had before. So.
Can't Kevin Feige just sit down at fucking Comic-Con, do an FAQ, and answer the questions that we have, instead of us having to ask more and more?
I mean,
It's the corporate greed, but I'll feed that greed as long as I can keep getting movies that I like.
right. I mean, it's really crazy on like how all this happened. I just want to see a variant where Thanos has actual balls on his chin. I mean, yes. He's saying that other variants are coming. We get that. We say that like there's other variants of himself that are coming. And there might be other variants of anyone out there who might be coming. But he was specifically worried about more dangerous versions of himself. We're trying to see, is he dangerous? Is this Kang lying?
He's definitely dangerous.
But is this...
Every Kang is dangerous.
But is this Kang lying? Like, did he make all of that up? And yes, maybe, like, the only truth was other variants are coming, but maybe he made up his backstory. Maybe he made up that he was a brilliant scientist from the 31st century or whatever. Like, is he...
Oh, no, Kang is.
Well, I get it. Like, in the comic books, he actually is from there. But, like, was he not a brilliant scientist? Was he, like, an outcast soldier that stole this or yada, yada, yada? Something more that lines up with what he did in the comics and where he actually came from.
You can never truly believe what a Kang is saying unless you've witnessed it with your own eyes. You have to be a witness to time in order for it to be true. And history is written by the victors. And who's the victor? Kang.
Dude, this is like just crazy stuff that this is some of the shit that I'm going to be talking about in the 24-hour live stream, and I'm just going to everyone's going to get so confused. I'm like, what's this guy rambling about? And I'm like, yeah.
What are you talking about, dude?
This is
just
true,
like,
true Marvel at
it's
heart.
the shit that we say. It's the true Marvel addicts, man.
Yeah. Me.
Good morning, Queen Lee. Waking up to the live stream.
Dude, yeah, this stuff is just absolutely insane.
Rixes wants to see Moon Knight. I want to see Moon Knight.
They have a Disney
Holy
Plus
fuck,
series
why haven't they
going.
touched Moon Knight yet?
They have a Disney Plus
Yo, he
series.
does?
Yep.
Let's go!
They have a Disney Plus series coming, so.
I love schizophrenic Batman.
So, do you have any other, like, questions or concerns or, like, theories about, like, anything else that's stemming from this last episode of Loki?
Oh, I have plenty of questions, but not enough of them can be asked while we're doing this fucking stream at 3 in the morning. 4 in the morning. There's a lot of shit that can't be ironed out right now, but I'm certain that it will be later. But, you know, same song and dance, you're just gonna have more questions at the very end of it. And maybe we'll never get definitive answers, but I think, honestly, the amount of joy that I get from witnessing these Marvel creations outweighs the amount of questions that I have answered. It's just like, you know what? Yeah, sure, why not? I'll go with it. As long as I can keep getting Tom Hiddleston in sweaty office clothes, or Richard E. Grant dressed up as a classic Loki, or boastful Loki, whose name I don't even know, but he was awesome. I wanted to see more of him. I wanted to know what the deal with his hammer was, but we won't get to know that because he was probably just a creation for this Disney Plus series. Who the hell is President Loki? What's going on with that? Croaky, Florida Loki. That's awesome as fuck. And the Nexus event for Kid Loki was murdering Thor. That's badass. He's the best Loki. I don't care what anyone says. But, in any case, this has been awesome, and I really cannot wait for season 2.
Do you
or
feel like the ending,
the rest of the?
Do you feel like the end of this season satisfying to you?
Yes and no. I feel like it would have been a little more satisfying if Hunter B25 and Mobius were just as confused as Loki, but not in the way that, who are you? What are you talking about? More that, Loki, oh my god, there you are. I wanted there to be...
You didn't want these to be... You didn't want Loki to go to a different timeline.
I didn't want Loki to be alone again.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's...
Because that was the whole issue in this series. Loki dealing with being alone. It's we saw it in like the beginning where Owen Wilson was, or Mobius was like, "You're alone. All you do is cause pain and destruction." In episode 4, when he was put in the when he's put in the memory prison or time prison, whatever, bad memory. Sif called him craven, pathetic, and alone. He will always be alone. When he met Sylvie, he wasn't alone. He didn't feel alone. The Nexus event on Lamentus was Loki not being alone. It's Lokis that find camaraderie in any way, I feel, are the ones that truly are able to, what's the word? Prosper, get better, be better. And when at the end of it, Loki was alone again, and that wasn't satisfying, because he spent all this time like growing a friendship with Mobius, and growing this relationship with Sylvie, and Sylvie says, "Bye, bitch," whoomp. And then this Mobius is like, "Who are you?" And it's like, "No, my heart." I didn't care if you went to another timeline, but I wanted it to be a Mobius that at least knew who Loki was.
Okay. You didn't want him, yeah, like you said before, you didn't want him to be alone.
No, I hate Loki being alone.
Yeah. That's always the worst part, I guess, is that, they're going to bring these characters down to, like, the lowest part, they're going to, take them down to the lowest form and break them apart, and especially a character like Loki, they kind of needed to do that for this season to make him, like, such an intriguing character, even though a lot of people just naturally love Loki and the character that Marvel has made in the movies and stuff like that. For me, I think that the season finale is satisfying and something to look forward to, but it does not feel complete. Season 1 doesn't feel complete, and if it wasn't for the MCU, this wouldn't be anything at all. The series would not be a good series. But with the MCU lore and everything else, it's a good catering to the fans. And I don't think... Kevin Feige made a statement a long time ago about Disney+. He sat here and goes, you don't need to watch the Disney Plus shows to understand the MCU movies. I think that is, true, maybe to a sense. But what I think would be a better statement about the Disney Plus shows is that these Disney Plus series are for the fans of the MCU. If you are a fan of the MCU, they can get away with so much more in this series than they can in like a standard movie they're going to release to the public in theaters, and these movies are going to be viewed by massive critics and all this other stuff. I mean, movies are just going to excel to somewhere where these series cannot. And this series, and at least the series they have been doing, has catered so much to the fans. Fans are going nuts over these series, and I think that speaks to like Kevin Feige and like how well he's been handling it. It's definitely crazy. That is the cause of the multiverse event, but it happened in there. So in the movies, they will explain, there's a multiverse event that happened, but like we were already starting to get a glimpse of it. Like we saw Evan Peters pop up there, and everyone thought that was like another universe Quicksilver popping up. But it turns out it wasn't, and stuff like that. And then everyone saw Loki disappeared in Endgame, and we thought, okay, that's going to cause another branch timeline or something like that. I mean, we had the theories for a long time, but this Loki episode definitely cements the idea that the multiverse of madness is really going to be madness. And it gave someone like Blake, who's not the biggest Marvel nerd like us, an idea to like, okay, I know more where I'm going now. So I think that I don't know how they're going to recap that in a movie to make like the main people understand like, how did this multiverse event happen in the first place? I think they're going to have to recap that in some way, so I'm curious on how they're going to do that. So
yeah, I definitely agree. There's just so much shit to get through, and really I feel like there's not enough time to get through it.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, you just got to trust Loki, which is the one thing that you probably shouldn't do, but you got to trust Loki.
Can't trust anyone, can't be trusted. Everything's true, but nothing is canon. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. I'm gonna go. I've been holding in a piss for about an hour now. I'm gonna go back into the Discord and talk to the other staff members and see what they think about the stream. You should join us, Trevor, because you have been leaving us alone for too long. We're getting ideas.
Busy making
Bye-bye.
videos. Bye. All right, guys. So that was it. Thank you guys so much for watching the live stream and everything like that. Thank you for people who tuned in. I wasn't expecting big numbers to pop up, and I wasn't expecting this live stream to go on as long as it did. I just wanted to do a live stream for like half an hour talking about it real quick because my mind is blown. It was a crazy episode, and I thank everyone who came by to join. Let me know in the chat real quick what you guys think, and I'd love to hear your last thoughts about this last episode of Loki, episode 6 of season 1, because we're getting a second season. Ooh, I can't turn off. Hold on, I gotta turn off this, and then plop, plop. Oh, I gotta reconnect this. Just give me 1 second. Oh, there it goes. All right, I'm back. Yeah, let me know what you guys think about it real quick in the chat, though. But yeah, this has been absolutely crazy. It's been absolutely nuts. It's something crazy to think about for sure. So, oh boy. Crazy. But yeah. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this. I plan on doing a 24-hour live stream at some point. If I end up talking about the Loki thing, great, or I might have to push that back. When you do your 24-hour live stream, you should invite fans to discuss theories over Discord or something. Yes, I would love to create like a stage VC where I just talk about Loki and all of it. I mean, I wouldn't mind trying to do that. That would be crazy to have to talk constantly for 24 hours, but I'd certainly try. Or I'd give like some fans an opportunity to hop on and be able to say something. That would be cool. But yeah. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will try to update you guys. Make sure to follow me on Twitter. My @ will be down below in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys all next time. Peace.